How y'all doing? You might wonder what's going on here. So, happy Hanukkah.
Happy Hanukkah.
Yeah. No, it's hopefully we'll get this out in time, but it's St. Patty's Day. So, top of the morning to you.
In 2 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah.
I can't think.
We're just celebrating early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you think of any other corny Irish sayings other than top of the morning and?
Where's my Lucky Charms?
Yeah, that's a go-to as well. Yes. But in honor of the holiday, in the spirit of the holiday, in honor of, we're going to do some Irish beers tonight. We're doing Irish Red, Irish Stout, and an Irish Extra Stout later on.
Well, coincidentally, Dave arranged a masterminds group based around Irish Stout, and it worked out perfect.
Yep.
Yeah, we had, I think out of all of us, we had really, really good beer. In fact, somebody won a gold at the, what was that?
I remember
Revenge.
only, Sweethearts. Yeah.
Sweetheart's Revenge.
First flight.
For the flight. So congrats to Mike Bordick.
Yeah,
absolutely. On his great beer. So, yeah, good beer.
So, so Dave is pretty knowledgeable on the whole Irish beer thing. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, kind of one of me, not your favorite style, if not your favorite style, one of your favorite styles.
Well, I love a lot of dark stuff, but I really kind of grew into brewing Irish beers and definitely one at the top of the list, right? So it's BJCP 15 category, right? So
sure.
Lovely beer.
Yeah. Well, long time ago, you and I tried one of Dave's beers. And I don't
remember
think that one worked out as well.
No,
but we'll throw a card here, linking to it. But actually, it turned out it was just a bad bottle.
It was just a bottle. Yeah.
The bottle was a little...
Yeah.
Got a little souring in there, a little funky in there.
Yeah,
but,
which happens.
Yeah.
But we'd had
These
it before.
should not be that way.
Oh, let's hope not. Right. I was worried about mine when I was filming. I'm like, oh, weird. But we'd had it before and then after, and it was delicious.
Yeah, it was great.
Time, so
it's just that one bottle.
It's a fluke.
It was very interesting, though.
They tend to be. So, anyway,
Irish Red.
We're going to start with the Irish Red.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. What can we...
Well, there's kind of a neat history on an Irish Red because really the Irish produce more darker ales, and we were discussing earlier that the Irish decided they wanted to make something a little bit closer to an English bitter, and so they actually called it a ruby ale, not really what we know today as an Irish red ale. But, and then it wasn't until, close to the 1900s when late 1980, somewhere around there, I don't know, when Coors kind of bought out like Murphy's, and they produced the Murphy's Irish Red, and that's when it kind of really took off and popular here in the U.S. So that's kind of how I read the history a little bit. But.
So that's when it became popular, or is that when the term Irish Red was coined?
Good question. I don't know.
No, okay.
You could assume so, but Irish didn't call their beers that were less roasted barley red. They called them ruby.
Nailed the color.
Yeah.
Oh, and let me ask you on camera, are you willing to share your recipe?
Yeah, I mean, it's Maris Otter, right? I'm not going to give exact numbers because you can kind of look them up. A little bit of roasted barley, probably only like 4 ounces, just to give it that nice reddish garnet kind of ruby color that they talk about. And then I also used like Crystal 40 in there to give it a nice caramel malt profile. And then it was just East Kent Golding for hops. And then I think I used, on this one, I might have actually used an English ale type yeast instead of an Irish. Because at the time we were brewing these, everybody bought up the Irish ale yeast this winter. So they were hard to get a hold of. And between that or Edinburgh ales or English or British ale yeast, they're just difficult. But so very simple.
We'll post the recipe down below in the show notes. So.
Well, that's well done. I like get a little bit of roast at the very end. I think that's what kind of giving it a little bit of, complementing the hops with the bitterness with the hops.
Right.
So I like that. It's not too much though. I mean, it's just enough to kind of give a little bit of.
Yeah, very well done. I know yours. I think yours has some haze in it.
It does.
And it's kind of holding on to a little more of the bitterness to me. But
Yeah.
it's got a really great caramel aroma to it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it tastes really good too, but I think it's just holding on to a little bit of the bitterness.
Yeah, I'm not sure why that would be. Oh, maybe.
It's like a malt, earthy. What'd you use for your hops?
I used Fuggles.
It smells like Fuggles.
Yeah.
I was gonna say earthy, little woody.
Pretty sure I used Fuggles. Yeah, because the whole reason I brewed this was because we brewed the Irish Stout, and at the time I think I bought like a big bag of it, and I was like, what else can I do? I can do an Irish Red. So,
Yeah.
but I thought mine tasted kind of yeasty. I thought there was some yeast in there too.
So, I think Jerry, who's been on the show a couple times, like he's used Fuggle, and he gets that, like that kind of flavor to it, and so it could just be the hop, you know.
Yeah, I think it's great though.
Yeah, no,
It leaves a nice note of caramel at the end.
Yeah, that's well, we'll talk about that later. But I typically shy away from the hops and try to steer more towards malt.
So what'd you name it? I'm looking at my recipe actually right now.
I have not named this one.
You've not named it. So I called mine Red Bush City Limit.
Red Bush City Limit.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a reference to anything?
No, but it's a great song. Without the red.
Okay.
Ned Bush City Limit, you know, never heard that song? Okay.
Who's the artist?
Oh my gosh, you had to ask me that.
Oh. See, I used no. I was just looking at my hops. I used EKG. That's my bad.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you used, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, yours finishes nice and clean.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it kind of leaves the roasted barley. And then not a lot, just a little hint, just to let you know.
Yeah, so I actually used an Irish ale malt. So I didn't use Maris Otter, like I might have said earlier.
Oh, you did say
I
that,
actually used Irish ale malt, which comes out of Ireland.
Oh, and you found that at fermentations.
I
It's
did.
funny because I just saw it the last time I was there. It's
did.
like Irish ale malt.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Then like a pound and 4 ounces of Crystal 40, like I said, and then and also the 4 ounces.
Is that the straight like American Crystal 40?
It might have been the UK. I don't remember, but I don't think it really. Well, it could matter, but I don't think with that amount.
I know sometimes their numbers are weird. Like some of the English malts will be like, I don't know,
55L.
They give a number, but it has nothing to do with the level.
Yeah, it's totally different. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was English ale yeast.
Yeah. Nice. Well, very nice.
Yeah. No, this is really good.
Okay, so I guess we'll finish these and come back for the stouts.
Sure.
Okay, we'll be right back. Now, live, back with Dave. I'm just kidding. Couldn't open it up.
No, that's
a great
fun.
opening.
Now we're going to Jesse in our remote location with Dave Wilcox. Dave, what is it with Irish stouts?
I don't know. They're just lovely. They're lovely.
Lovely.
They're lovely. No, it's the interesting thing, Irish Stout, which used to be dry Irish Stout.
Yeah.
Which no longer, if you're doing, beer judging, it's just a plain old Irish Stout. And I don't know why they got rid of dry.
That was because they're still supposed to be dry, right?
Yeah,
Dry-ish.
they're supposed to be dryish, but not dry like alcohol dry. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or just
you
don't get this sweet profile or anything like that. Especially historically, when Mr. Guinness, we'll call him Mr. Guinness.
I always like the designation of dusty. A lot of people say it's a dusty stout, or their recipe's dusty something or the other.
Right. So long history and well known, and Guinness at one point was the beer to buy around the world.
Yeah.
It was outselling the market. It was selling 280 million gallons of. It was pretty crazy how much they were producing in years time. But yeah, really good stuff. And I think the unique thing about this is a lot of people think of Guinness, right? Like we're talking about.
Yeah.
But Guinness is on nitro. And nitro gives this lovely kind of mouthfeel to its beer.
Yeah.
Right? So that's an extra stout.
Oh, yeah, extra stout. So we got 2 Irish stouts and 1 Irish extra stout.
Right. But when it's just on CO2, you don't get this body, right? So people expect a little bit more mouthfeel. Where if a beer's dry, it typically doesn't have a lot of mouthfeel,
exactly.
right?
Yeah.
So...
And I mean, the nitro makes it so creamy.
Oh, very much.
I just remember thinking that Guinness was like a super chewy, heavy beer. And then now I'm like, oh no, that thing's light. I gotta throw those down mowing the lawn.
Right.
I don't drink while I mow the lawn though. I don't know why people that enjoy that.
Yeah.
And I don't understand what's up with shower beers.
Yeah, then
I just want to get washed and get out of there.
Yeah.
I'll have a beer later.
I'll have a beer when I'm done. When I'm not naked and wet.
Right.
Although there might be a time for that. It's just not in the shower.
So, simple recipe as well, just like the red. So your base malt, like for instance on my recipe, I use 7 pounds of Pale Ale Golden Promise. So I didn't, which is very similar to Maris Otter. Nice toasty English barley. And then 2 pounds of flake barley, because there's where you kind of get some of that nice mouthfeel is in that flake barley. And then I actually used 12 ounces of this interesting roasted barley that I got from Crisp. Very dark, huge label bond, like 700 L. And when we were all over at my house the first time, we all kind of chewed out of the bag a little bit. Remember how dark and roasty that was? And typically, if you don't know, roasted barley actually only really gives you color and some flavor. It doesn't produce anything. It's
No sugars or anything.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I know
It's
to
an
me,
malted,
Irish Red and Irish Stout, it's the roasted barley beer. Yeah, I mean, that's the primary flavor component to me in it.
Yeah, see, and I never thought, I mean, until we did this, I never thought that Irish Red, never associated that with roasted barley. I mean, it's supposed to be. But
Yeah.
Yeah, this definitely. But
Yeah. I mean, you get with Irish Red, you get the caramel notes and hopefully toffee. That'd be great. But it always, to me, it seems to finish with roasted barley. So except for yours, finished with caramel. His did though. Yeah. I mean, it's just. I mean, that's Oh man, this hell tastes like Pilsner.
Yeah.
It's
one
the
little
beer.
thing was like,
it's the beer.
Different. Yeah. So so that one, to kind of backtrack a little bit, I think.
Mine was a Guinness clone.
Yeah. Okay. So I know some people in that masterminds did the mean brews.
Yeah.
Right.
Brew, and so that's what I did with the Irish Stout. I was like, or the Irish Red. I'm like, well, let's try this mean brews thing, and so I followed that one pretty much to the letter. And that's what you got.
Was there anything off the wall about the Mean Brews Irish Red?
It was pretty. I think it was
I
fairly
had
standard.
I had chocolate.
Well, I mean the Irish Red.
Oh, the Irish Red.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think so. The only thing I don't like about their recipes is that they get kind of complicated.
Yeah.
And complicated in the sense of they have, like the Irish Red one, it was like Maris Otter and then 3 types of crystal malt, and it was just like, I really prefer simple grain bills.
Yeah. But if you haven't checked out Mean Brews, you should. And we'll throw some links to those videos. But what he does is he takes winning recipes and then he averages them out over time and then comes up with a recipe. So, yeah, but his Irish Stout recipe was like that too, and it had chocolate in it, right?
It did.
Yeah, which was close to what we thought the Murphy's Stout had.
Right.
Because it had a nice strong chocolate flavor to it.
It did.
I shouldn't say strong. Light. Yeah.
So my extra stout, because I added so much roasted barley, was actually the Mean Brew recipe, but I bumped up the roasted barley a little bit more, right? So it kind of leaned more into that extra stout, and really what makes the difference between the two is how much roastedness, not ashy, but how much roast you'll get out of it, and also a little bit more on the alcohol by volume too on an extra stout, Irish Extra Stout.
What was the ABV on that one?
So up in the 6s.
6s? Okay.
Yeah. So, fun fact, and you could look this up, but Guinness, what I was told and what I've read is they pull some of their malt by it's fermenting. They pull it out, let it sit, and then throw it back in, and it gives this nice little crisp tart kind of note to it. And I did that with my recipe in this, but I didn't take it out. I just added like 4 ounces of acidulated malt.
Because I've heard different variations on that where they have some beer that's got Brett to it and they blend them. And I don't know where the jury stands on that, but
somebody can call up Guinness and figure out what they do, or if they know, they can post it.
Who's Guinness owned by? Are they owned by Coors?
They are not owned by Coors. Guinness is not. No.
Are they their own company?
I think so.
Oh, okay, sweet.
I don't think they've changed. I mean, they pulled like a 9,000 year lease that they tore like pay like 45 pounds a year on.
No, yeah, I didn't know
It's
that.
like
Yeah.
crazy deal what they got.
That's
Well, that doesn't make me feel bad about buying Guinness. I gotta admit, I thought it was a macro brew and big company and owned by someone else, and here I am wrong.
We'll have to look that up.
Yeah.
Well, what do we think?
All three of them taste a lot like beer.
Mission accomplished. I haven't tried the Extra Stout yet.
So notice, Jesse, yours got nice coffee.
Yeah.
I'm a coffee roast, not a.
Yeah.
You know?
Then, well, I was telling Mike after we'd gotten together. So with these groups, we get together and we all sample each other's beers and discuss them. And man, the word of the night was roast.
Oh yeah.
It was like the Pee Wee Herman thing. I was expecting the couch to start jumping around and bells going off. Right. Like roast this, roast that, roasted barley, roasted. And I was like, I don't really I didn't want roast in mind. I want more mellow, because I don't associate roast with Guinness. I always think it's just in my head. But now tasting it next year, I was like, oh yeah, that is a little roasty. So
Yeah.
But
yeah, but like he said, yours has a coffee flavor, nice coffee flavor, and I think your bitterness has popped up there a little bit too, right?
Not on the Irish Stout. On the extra, the bitterness is up there along with the chocolate malt because there's chocolate malt in there. Like I said, we use on that one too was the Mean Brew recipe where they took all of the gold winning examples in the National Homebrew Comp and mapped that out, and the mean of what was put in there was kind of what created that beer, right?
Yeah.
But I wanted to bump up the roast a little bit more, and dry it out even more. So I used, as an example, extra dry English, like extra. I forget exactly what it's called, but the yeast I used was an English dry yeast, which had a little bit higher attenuation to it in order to eat more of those sugars to dry it out even more.
Yeah, that was so with your Irish Stout. Is that the one that you add a little bit more acid to?
I did 4 ounces of acidulated malt in there, and you can kind of get that crispy.
At the very end, it was like now that you mentioned it, I was like, that's just a little bit of acid, which is good. It's a nice. It does kind of give you the impression of dryness.
Yeah. And in our comp, I put both of these beers in there, and the comments were on the Irish Stout, a little acid note to it, and then I think this finished 4th in the category.
Yeah.
And the stout, a lot of stouts are in that one.
Yeah. Well, and you had 2 or 3 entries in there. You had 2 entries, right?
I did 2 entries on that table, and then I had 2 entries on another table.
Well, if I'm right, I think Axe's beer was on that table too.
It was,
and that's the one that won at Sweetheart. So I mean, that's pretty good.
But it didn't place.
On the table. Oh, okay.
Maybe he did. Maybe he didn't.
Yeah.
I can't remember. But Jerry would have to tell you.
Yeah, it's always a crapshoot when you're judging beer.
Yeah.
Or entering beer. Yeah.
It really is. It's yeah. I was going to say something. I can't remember what now.
Yeah. Who knows?
But a little too inside baseball.
Well, very well done. Yeah, both of you guys.
Thanks.
And for both your beers. Yeah,
thanks.
Yeah,
and we'll have those recipes down there as below. So
definitely.
Or down there as below. I don't think that's right. We'll have both of those recipes down there as well.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, nice. So, yeah, we should probably wrap this up. Otherwise, we talk about Irish Stouts all night.
Yeah, good.
We could do that.
That's all I got. Yeah.
Well, thanks for bringing your stout by.
Oh yeah. Thank you for having me here. It's been a pleasure.
Oh, no problem.
Always.
Yeah, glad to have you.
Cheers.
Sure. Cheers.
Yeah.
Prost.
Thanks for watching our video. Check out our website at coloradobrewtalk.com for more great content.
While you're there, be sure to leave us a comment or drop us a line with your thoughts.
You can also find us on Facebook and Twitter at CO Brew Talk, or follow the links below. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any future content.
Or episodes, as the case may be.